Alright folks, here we go, Revid's back again to entertain you lot and give you again some sort of shopping list, if you will, of amazing trashy films. Now this time I'm redoing my Cirio Santiago collection. It was a good friend of mine, Cirio, suggested that I should redo it, given that I've acquired more Cirio films since I did the first installment of this some time back. So we'll kick it off with probably one of his most renowned films, Wheels of Fire. Now this is an extremely amazingly entertaining Mad Max 2 ripoff, if you will, and he even wears the same attire, the same clothes, if you will, as Mel in Mad Max 2. And it's fucking amazing, man. There's heads are cut off, people are run over, set on fire, beaten, raped, you name it. It's fucking crazy. It's an absolute mad film. Stick fights. It's kind of got everything. So we were lucky here in Australia to get the full uncut version. It was actually cut in many territories in the UK, and I think from memory the US version may have been cut as well. Now I've got the Code Red DVD here with different artwork, and I do actually like the design on that one as well. There was a Blu-ray, but yeah, look guys, I couldn't get my hands on it. I had to settle for the DVD, but to be honest, it's not too bad quality-wise. Now, his second, probably most renowned film is Equalizer 2000. And it sports one of the most ridiculous firearms ever put to cinema, as is better seen here on the Australian tape, with Richard Norton. I mean, I am a fan of Richard Norton, but I kind of find his Australian accent is really kind of out of place in these films. But I don't know, it's not just me that said that, and my wife said the same, and a few other folk as well. But it's amazingly entertaining, along the lines of Wheels of Fire. So, I mean, Cirio did do quite a few of these post-apoc type films, so there's a few more here in the collection, and there's actually some I'm missing as well. Now, I recently got June Warriors with David Carradine. I can only assume Carradine was really broke and didn't have any other film ventures, so he starred in this. It wasn't fantastic, but it wasn't terrible. I mean, don't get me wrong, it was pretty entertaining, but I just kind of find Cirio's earlier stuff, very early 80s and whatnot, it's just a lot more entertaining, but I am an extremely fussy person. These things are getting harder to get hold of now because the rights have been given up type thing, and they're not in print anymore and all this sort of carry on, so they can become quite expensive. Now, the Raiders of the Sun, I haven't watched this for a long time. I really can't comment on this one. Richard Norton's in it again, but I can't even remember if it was any good. I do need to sit down and watch that one again. Now, it's just been announced that Wheels of Fire is coming out on Blu again with this, you know, as a double up, if you will, on Blu-ray. So I'm not sure on the release date, but keep an eye out for that. As I said, it's got Wheels of Fire and Raiders of the Sun. So it's going to be good to have that on Blu, because there is a DVD, but you know, having it as on a double bill as well is quite a nice feature. Another one I got recently was Blood Fist 2050, and again, it wasn't bad. It wasn't absolutely fantastic. It was pretty entertaining. I think you guys will dig it. I mean, as I said, it's what these films are is what I call beer and pizza cinema. Now, Cirio films don't make an awful lot of sense. They're quite cheap, but they're so entertaining, man. They are really, honestly, the perfect films for, as I said, for drinking beer and just sitting back and watching the violence on show. They're that sort of film, you know what I mean? There's no sort of in-depth script to these, or, you know, extremely intelligent films or anything like that. But that, you know, honestly, that's the sort of shit that I like to watch anyway, as you guys know. Now, Striker, again, there's a DVD of this, but by Christ, it's expensive now. I haven't been able to get my hands on it yet. I do remember this one was pretty good, and again, another Mad Max 2 type ripoff, and extremely entertaining. I'll just keep looking. Eventually I will get my hands on that disc, but I just kind of refuse to pay $100 plus, which is what people are asking for it. Now, Cirio is a producer, sorry, on quite a few films as well. Now, a lot of the Blood Fist films with Don the Dragon Wilson, Cirio was a producer on those. But as I say, that was another thing he delved into. Not only directing, he produced quite a few films as well. Cage Fury, sorry, is a women in prison camp film. I haven't watched this for a long time. It was quite a good one. You can always tell a Cirio film when you watch it. I mean, they're full of violence, full of nudity, ridiculous dialogue and stuff. As I said, they're just extremely entertaining. This is the old Aussie K-Tel video. Now, these things featured, honestly, guys, the most fragile fucking cases, video cases, on the face of the planet. I mean, they are nice. They've got, like, pictures and whatnot on the inside, like so, of other films. There's Death Collector in there. But I try not to even touch it and muck with it too much, because it, as you can see, it kind of gets brittle and falls apart, folks. The Technician, this one wasn't that flash. I can't remember why. I just don't have really fond memories of The Technician. Yeah, it was like another Vietnamese film, but I will go back and watch that one again. Alright, now here's an oddity here, folks. A film called Death Force. Now, it was out here in Australia on Sundowner Video. It's quite a rare tape. And it looked cut. I mean, it really looked like a lot of the violence was cut out, and I was never able to see another version to compare, so I really didn't know. It's quite an odd film. It's a blaxploitation film that kind of mixes in elements of, you know, samurai sword fighting and shit like that. I won't give too much away, but it's great. It's honestly a great film. I didn't have the fondest memories watching our tape, because, as I said, I knew it was cut, and I despise watching censored films. So recently I got this Vinegar Syndrome double. Now, both of these are Cirio films, Vampire Hookers and, of course, Death Forces on this, and it's fully uncut. There was shootouts in there, neck cuttings. I don't know, I just noticed a lot more violence in that DVD. So my theory was correct, that our tape was actually cut, folks. This one was a good one, Live by the Fist, with Jerry Trimble. And what it is, it's, you know, one of those films that take place in jail cells and such. And it was very similar to In Hell with Van Damme, you know, like prize money cage fighting and shit like that. So, yeah, it was an entertaining one. Now, these are quite good as well. Silk 1 and 2, they're like a sort of rape revenger type films. Now, I don't know, oddly, and a lot of people will agree with this, like part 2 is way better than part 1. Like, don't get me wrong, part 1 of Silk is still pretty good. It's still a good film. But part 2 was fucking amazing, man. Like, she just kills so many people in it. You know, obviously not like a John Woo film in terms of body count and such, but I don't know, not too far off it. It was pretty fucking violent and pretty damn entertaining. And again, there is a DVD of this, but, you know, same story, guys. It's quite expensive to get your hands on now. Black Valor. I remember this one wasn't too bad, but yeah, it's a long time. I've just got so much here, guys. I mean, in terms of, you know, VHS, I've got 3,000. I've got all these Blu-rays and shit just fucking everywhere. So, yeah, unfortunately, I can't really give a report on that. I mean, it's rated R, so it must be reasonably violent, but yeah, it's just been an awful long time since I've seen it. Now, another really good one is Naked Fist. Now, this is amazing. Again, it's another sort of rape revenger film. Fantastic, but it is cut here. Unfortunately, I've only ever seen the Australian version. It's on like a budget DVD type pack, which I don't have my hands on yet. It's like a DVD pack of rape revengers, and it's apparently uncut on there. You know, the scenes when she rams the harness fighting sticks into a guy's eyeballs and shit like that. 100%, it's definitely cut here. And oddly, it actually uses the music from Shogun Assassin in this thing. I think you guys will dig it. Naked Fist is absolutely fantastic. Now, another one of his that again, that is fucking amazing. And again, guys, it's another rape revenger, but it's really gory and really violent. And it was cut in Australia here on video by 4 minutes. So I actually did the comparison, and I have sort of crapped on about this film before, and it probably comes close to my favourite Cirio film. But I would probably say number one for me, I guess, would be Wheels of Fire, and then this would be number two. It's amazing. Now, it's out on a double bill with a film called Vendetta on a double Blu-ray type setup. But yeah, unfortunately, I just don't have my hands on it yet, guys. Now, a lot of people don't know this, but Cirio actually did the original Expendables, and here it is. And it's an early 80s film, and as I said, it is essentially, well, it's the Expendables, but the original one. And it's almost like a, what do you call it? Like a Dirty Dozen type film, as you guys know. I mean, you've probably all seen the Expendables, and it's great. It's obviously another Vietnam film, and it's good fun. As is Killzone. He did use David Carradine in quite a few of his films, actually. In Killzone, again, he did do quite a few of these Vietnam films, and that's quite a good one as well. Now, I think there is actually DVDs of that, but again, guys, don't have it. I'm slowly upgrading as I go. Final Mission, rated R here. This was another really good one. Now, as far as I know, you can't get Final Mission on disc yet. I'm kind of guessing eventually we will kind of get a lot of these on disc, but yeah, that was one I've got fond memories of, folks. Killer Instinct was quite a good one as well, and it's got Robert Patrick in it from Terminator 2, who was the molten liquid guy. You know who I'm talking about in Terminator 2, but yeah, artwork on that one is fantastic. Sorry about the glare, guys. I'm doing my best here. Now, Demon of Paradise was a bit of an oddity. It's the only monster film that I know of that Cirio did, apart from that pterodactyl type one that he did. I think it's called Vulcan or something like that, which I don't have. Now, I don't know. I didn't mind this. A lot of people bag it out. Demon of Paradise is like a geeky film, if you will. I mean, you're not supposed to take it seriously. It's like a rubber suit monster going around killing people. And it almost plays like a trauma film. And I didn't even know for many years that it was a Cirio Santiago film until I started to research, Cirio Santiago films and what he had output, and then kind of amassed them all together and went, wow, I've actually got quite a few here. As I say, a lot of people don't realise what films Cirio did, and I don't know. Again, guys, it's brainless, but it's a fun film. Now, I dug this one as well, Bamboo Gods and Iron Men. It's really rare, and I'm almost positive there's no disc of this one. It was just another silly action. It's a bit like One Arm Execution or that sort of film, and yeah, it entertained the fuck out of me. The Destroyers, unfortunately, my tape here is really faded. Now, I do have the Japanese tape as well, which I stupidly haven't dug out for you guys. This is a really good one as well. It's like a Vietnam-y type thing, more of like a revenge type film. Very entertaining, really violent, lots of things blowing up and people shot. Yeah, as I say, unfortunately, it's got an extremely faded cover. I need to sort that out. Eye of the Eagle 2. This one wasn't too bad, but it was really lacking in action. It honestly played like more of like a Vietnam drama than anything. Now, there's Eye of the Eagle 1, 2, and 3, and yeah, for some reason, folks, I only have number 2, so I need to get hold of the other ones. What else have we got? Woman Hunt was a pretty good one, and it double bills with TNT Jackson, which was quite a good one as well. But as I said, once you start to get into Cirio films, they're very similar. I mean, you can tell a Cirio film, if you know what I mean. The same way when you watch a Fulci film or an Argento film, you know, that they have that feel to them. As I say, once you get into it, you'll know what I'm talking about. Last one. Now, Cirio was only a producer on this one. It wasn't bad as well. We got Rutger Hauer and Mark Dacascos. And again, Vietnam territory in this one. So that's it, folks. That is my Cirio collection here. Now I've got to put all this back on the shelves, and in the meantime, try and acquire the ones that I'm missing. There is still quite a handful, at least, that I'm missing of his work, and I will endeavour to get my hands on the rest of them, because as I said, they are honestly the most entertaining films. I would probably say Cirio is one of my favourite directors. I mean, his films are just, they're just fun. That's the word I'm looking for here. Just extremely fun films. Alright, thanks for watching, folks. I'll see you on the next one.